Hello everyone, I'm very glad to participate with you in this event through this record. I'm Osamah Alfakih, the Director of Media, Communications and Advocacy at Mwatana for Human Rights, an independent Yemeni human rights organization that documents violations of international humanitarian and human rights law committed by all warring parties and authorities in Yemen. The war in Yemen started in September 2014 when an armed group called Ansar Allah, as known as Houthis, took control of the capital Sana'a by force. Then the armed conflict escalated with the military campaign launched by the Saudi UAE-led coalition in March 2015. Since then, civilians in Yemen have been suffering from violations committed by all warring parties in different ways. If we take 2020 as an example, Mwatana for Human Rights documented about 1,020 incidents of harm to civilians and civilian objects, in which more than 900 civilians were killed and injured. These incidents documented across the country were committed by the Ansar Allah Houthi group, the Saudi UAE-led coalition, the forces of the internationally recognized government, the UAE-backed forces, forces of the Southern Transitional Council, and the UAE-backed forces on the Western Coast. Among the 1,020 incidents documented in 2020, Mwatana documented at least 26 Saudi UAE-led coalition airstrikes, which killed at least 99 civilians, including 41 children and 15 women, and wounded at least 81 civilians, including 42 children and 19 women. One example of hundreds of airstrikes documented by Mwatana is an airstrike took place in October 2016 in the village of Urgewald in northwest Yemen. The airstrike killed a family of 6, including the pregnant mother and 4 children. At the site of the airstrike, Mwatana found bomb remnants, and according to the analysis, a suspension log was manufactured by Rheinmetall SPA, a subsidiary of the German arms manufacturer Rheinmetall AG. Based on Mwatana's documentation, on April 17, 2018, Mwatana, European Center for Constitutional and Human Rights, the Italian Peace and Disarmament Network filed a criminal complaint to the public prosecutor in Rome against managers of Rheinmetall SPA and senior officials of Italy's National Authority for the Exports of Arms. It's true that countries like Germany suspended arms sales to Saudi Arabia, but arms companies continued their business through countries that allow them to sell arms in disregard of the with disregard of the legal and ethical responsibility. On the March 3rd, 2021, Open Secrets published the report Profiting from Misery, South Africa's complicity in war crimes in Yemen, and the report shows that Rheinmetall munitions, RDM, and other South African companies have regularly supplied Saudi UAE-led coalition with weapons before and since the war started in Yemen. Finally, I want to conclude with a direct message to Rheinmetall's shareholders and investors. Know very well that your business is contributing to the worst humanitarian crisis as declared by the United Nations. Arms sales to abusers like the case of the Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates must end now. And it's really disappointing that the image of South Africa gets attached to fueling miseries in other nations like Yemen through the arms sales. Nations of Global South should be working in solidarity with one another, pushing for accountability and justice, not profiting from each other's destruction. Thank you so much.